There's something to be said about art that brings people together, that transcends religion, ethnicities, social status, tax brackets, colors, complexions, all those things, all that stuff. And our next guest was one of the creators of this series that ran for about 6 years.
6 years.
And I sat and watched every single episode when I was in L.A. and Oakland, California, and I love this woman. And to have met her a few years back, to me, it's been a treat. And I think I could call her friend right here. The lovely, the one and only, celebrating 25 years of anniversary of the sitcom The Nanny. The one and only Fran Drescher is here.
What's up, Fran? Thank you. What a lovely introduction. And yes, I love to think of you as my friend.
Yes, indeed. We got folks in common. And
I was so excited when I heard that I was doing Sway.
Yes.
Because, I'm on a need-to-know basis. I don't even think I knew until today.
You were coming up to the show? I'm like that. Why are you on a need to know? You don't want to have too much stuff on your brain?
No, I can't have too much going. I mean, I have so much that it's just I have to take it one step at a time.
I have to take it one step. But DB, we was talking about this earlier. I mean, we all know you from The Nanny is probably the biggest thing, but you've done so much other work.
Yeah, Emmy winning, Golden Globe winning. You worked with Wes Craven before Nightmare on Elm Street and Stranger in Our House. I was just watching a clip of her dancing with John Travolta and Saturday Night Fever, getting it up on the dance floor. I mean, The Nanny. Right. I mean, cancer survivor. We got to mention that. So,
yes.
She's doing a lot of good. You got the Health Expo coming up. You got the cancer cruise that you're going to be doing. I mean, you staying busy, man.
Yeah. I'm always busy. And I'm so grateful that the show is back on Cozy TV. So that's cool because it gives me a platform to promote that. And while I'm talking about that, then I can promote Cancer Schmancer and say we have this amazing cabaret dinner cruise in New York Harbor this Monday, June 25th. You got to buy tickets. It is so fun and so full of love and organic food. And I don't know if you've ever even taken a little cruise in New York Harbor. I know I hadn't before I did this cruise.
Yeah, well, so it's Monday. It's this Monday, June 25th.
Right.
How can you get tickets?
You go to cancerschmancer.org.
Okay.
And you get your tickets, cancer, SCHMANCER.org. And I'll be there and we'll take pictures together with a professional photographer.
Okay, you got to bring the pro, Fran. So.
And then we go into the harbor and you see the Statue of Liberty over cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. And then we come back and we have a delicious organic dinner. And then the best of Broadway and cabaret entertainment.
So that's like going on a date with Fran Drescher.
It's totally. It's like a date, a bar mitzvah, a wedding, all rolled into one. And it's in support of this great video that we shot with Jamie Foxx, who hosts it. And I'm in it, and a bunch of kids are in it. And it's all to teach them how to become the change, because they're the first generation predicted to not live as long as their parents in U.S. history.
This generation now?
Children, yes, and we don't want to make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. So they're very impressionable to advertisers, and we have to teach them, don't be. You're a multi-billion-dollar, demographic, and, you're not old enough to vote. You're not old enough to pay taxes, but you are old enough to spend, and money talks.
Money talks.
So keep it real, keep manufacturers honest, and become the change we also desperately need.
Why is that? What is the reasons that this generation is the first generation to be predicted not to live as long as they
because from the womb, they have been exposed to a high level of toxins, 200 to 300 chemicals, toxic chemicals found in the umbilical cord. So the previous generations didn't have that kind of bombardment of environmental toxins. Plus, you compound that with all kinds of electromagnetic fields, EMF, smog everywhere, and, the stress, and there's just so much going on that is negative and unhealthy for all of us. Right now we're living in a society where there's a lot of money in sickness. So rather than ask what's causing the sickness, they'd rather just, give us a pill to suppress the symptom while we keep doing the stuff that's making us sick. So I'm forcing everyone to get woke.
Wow. Yes. Well, I like that, Fran. We just had this conversation with a woman by the name of Sue Taylor the other day.
Yeah, Sue Taylor, she stopped by. She's an advocate for seniors, in particular, in the use of cannabis, the positive use of it. So I got my grandmother. She not puffing, but she creaming. My grandmother's using the creams and everything right now. And there's no, Fran, I have to be honest. My she'll be 88 July 19th. and it's helping her so
Like,
much.
It's one of the greatest plants God ever put on this planet, and the only reason why there was a prohibition was because of the paper industry, the alcohol industry, the fuel industry. The cotton industry, all the the alcohol industry, all the ones that were threatened shortly after World War II. Capitol Hill put out a campaign to get farmers to grow cannabis, and immediately the big deep-pocketed lobbyists of all these businesses that knew that this was going to, cut into their profit margin, like lit down on Capitol Hill and said, "Are you crazy?"
Right.
And so that's when it became, like prohibition of cannabis. So all of these years since post World War II, we could have been developing this fantastic plant for so many things that would have prevented us from cutting down forests and all this GMO, all this stuff, and people would have understood that there were fantastic medicinal qualities to it. I sent my parents down in South Florida a little goodie bag, and I'm going to be actually speaking the end of August at a cannabis convention in Portland because I myself post cancer surgery, I suffer from inflammation. Why? Because the hospital had a policy at the time that they would just arbitrarily take out your appendix because if you're getting your abdomen cut open, you were at risk of having appendicitis.
Yes.
So they would just take it off because why, quote unquote, you don't need it. Well, now fast forward 18 years later, and I'm involved heavily with functional medicine and the Cancer Schmancer movement is as well, which makes us extremely cutting edge. And in that community, everybody knows that the appendix is the brains of the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm like getting swollen and irritation and all of this stuff just, from like having some wine, and I don't even know why. And it took me all this time. Well, I happened to be getting a Lifetime Achievement Award in Vienna, and thank you.
Ow.
This was several years ago, but I wasn't doing anything. I was in my hotel room. I happened to bend down to get into the mini bar.
Yeah.
And all
What was in the mini bar, Fran?
I never even got to see it because I threw my back out. But God works in mysterious ways. So there I am on the floor. I had the wherewithal to grab my cell phone as I'm going down. And I called the concierge. I said, "You got to get me a doctor because these people filled a room on my name. And I have to get to this cancer organization that's giving me this Lifetime Achievement Award." So the doctor comes to give me some medicine just to get me off the floor, but my hands were all swollen. And I said to her, "What do you make of this?" She looked at it for like 2 seconds and said, "I think that you have a problem metabolizing histamines." I said, "Really?" I went to like the best, allergist at UCLA. She said, "This is not an allergy. This is your body's inability to metabolize histamines." I said, "Well, what do I do?" She said, "Look up online, no histamine diet, and go on it for like a month, really strict. And if all your symptoms go away, you'll know that's what you've got." And sure enough,
It went
that
away.
is exactly what happened. And I've been on this thing. When I meet people, all kinds of people, whatever it is, whether it, first of all, they have all kinds of inflammation or whatever, and I say, "First, do you have your appendix?" And many people will say no.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, we got to dial it back to a more old school way. We got to eat organic and forget about supporting industrial farm foods.
Yeah.
That is not serving us well. It's not serving the earth well. It's not serving the poor Dickensian raised animals that we're supposed to be thinking is nutritious food, and it's not.
And it's not. Yep. Fran Drescher is here, man. The president and visionary of the Cancer Schmancer movement. And make sure you go to cancerschmancer.org, right? And buy tickets for this Monday if you're in the tri-state area. We're going to go on a cabaret dinner cruise. And it's basically you're going on a date with Fran, so dress accordingly. Carter's on the line from California.
Carter, what's
good morning.
poppin', Carter?
Carter.
Family, how are we? It's good to talk to everyone again. Sway, it's been a minute.
I called you about 4 years ago when I had this dream out of college that I wanted to start this CBD company, and, you were honest with me. You said, it sounds great, but it sounds like you're all over the place. Well, Sway, fast forward 4 years later, I'm out here in California. I own CAD, Carter's Aromatherapy Designs. I make CBD cream that's heavily endorsed by Jadakiss, Styles P, and I just wanted to call up because I wanted to thank you guys for what you've been doing with bringing awareness on CBD and the cannabis plant, because, when I was on my way out here 4 years ago, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that hit home very hard. Being from Vermont, coming out to California to start your own company, and I basically went on a mission to try and find the best whole plant CBD that I could find, and that's what I went with. I helped her beat the breast cancer.
I want to interject here for a minute, if you don't mind. He mentioned whole plant.
Yeah.
And I do think that ultimately you can get hemp products, which is the male plant, and it isn't the whole plant in the way that, the whole plant cannabis is. And I think ultimately the whole plant may be more medicinal. So I think that that's something that, you may want to, but that you probably need a prescription for and to go to a dispensary. But the point is, yes, we have to, it was only greed that kept us all from having this wonderful God-given plan. So, thanks for, sharing. And how's your mom, by the way?
She's doing amazing, and my goal, and I've set forth every day since to help patients. And California, unfortunately, changed their laws around this year, which makes it a lot harder now with having everything on a system. But before then, every week, every day, we would make a change in people's lives. We've donated a lot. I mean, I'm self-funded. I do this all on my own, just with a passion and a dream. And I've managed to win Chalice, the High Times Cup, Emerald Cup, which are all going against some of the biggest corporate companies,
Well, I have some suggestions here. Why don't you roll a doobie and go see Hotel Transylvania 3, which is the movie that I'm in, and then also go on to Cozy TV and watch that, because nothing is better for good health than laughter.
There you go. All right. And we're proud of you, Carter. We're proud of you.
Yeah, Carter.
I'm gonna get you guys some of the hemp-derived products soon, because those are products we can get you guys, and I know they'll help you guys.
Well, it's legal here in New York now, Carter.
Okay.
It's legal here in New York.
But I don't know if you can send it legally. Can you send it legally through the mail, Carter?
From one state to...
You can, the hemp-derived version, the lawyers say different things, it depends, but there is ways with the hemp-derived versions that you can. But a lot of the version, I'm going to be honest with you, as someone who's worked with whole plant, and I have worked for the last 3 years, I was 500 feet away from a testing facility, right, so we saw everything tested.
Don't do them, Carter. Says Fran is here. I want to hear more Fran's voice.
They want to interview me, Carter, but thank you.
What's going on with NBC in Telemundo on the Health and Fitness Expo?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes, that's this Saturday the 23rd, and it's at NetLife in New Jersey. Now, this is a free event, people.
Okay.
So if you're in the tri-state area and you have a family, go to NetLife and experience this NBC Telemundo Health Expo, because it is truly fun for the whole family. The whole place is filled with enjoyable activities that are all happening simultaneously, and you walk around and everything has a health and happiness kind of bend to it. I'm actually going to be doing a cooking demonstration with Iron Chef Seamus Mullen, who I actually requested when they suggested would I be interested in doing a cooking thing, because he actually cured himself of rheumatoid arthritis with food. Food is medicine. You really, rarely, if you really are into eating pristine food and you're really into keeping your home detoxed, which is a big program with Cancer Schmancer, Detox Your Home, then you probably will tremendously reduce your risk of getting any kind of illness, and you'll be able to heal yourself very quickly if you do. By supplementing and fortifying your immune system. Mind, body, and spirit have to be always in balance. You are the thermostat of that. Realize when you're stressed. Realize when you've been exposed to other people's, colds or flus. Realize when you're overdoing things, and then fortify your immune system. Help your body help itself, because there is nothing more perfect than the human body and the system that it has to internally support your wellness and thrive for life. And so that's this Saturday, the 23rd. So I urge everybody to go, and it's free.
Fran Drescher.
MetLife Stadium.
I'm just curious. So we got the cruise. That's Monday, right?
Yes, the
Okay.
25th.
Okay, and this weekend you can go to MetLife Stadium, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, we got the 25th anniversary of the sitcom The Nanny.
On Cozy TV.
We got Transylvania 3.
Yes, that's from Sony with Adam Sandler and a whole bunch of other great people.
Okay, we got cancerschmancer.org.
Yes, that's where you can get your tickets for the cabaret dinner cruise. And also, you should just sign up and get our, information and what we're learning. We are a radical company. So if you're listening to this, you're probably a little bit radical and woke yourself. And I suggest that, we start locking elbows, because it only takes 10% of the population to shift the paradigm. And, while manufacturers are getting richer, while our health is getting poorer. And we don't need regulation in Washington. We don't need to worry about whose administration is. All we have to do is stop buying. If everyone stopped drinking cola today, they'd stop making it tomorrow that quickly.
Yeah.
So just, know that nobody cares about you as much as you. So wake up and smell the coffee, because once you wake up, it's hard to go back to sleep.
And make sure the coffee was,
Organic.
organic,
Organic and fair trade.
and fair trade.
Yeah.
What are you listening to? What music are you listening to? Did you hear the new Beyonce album with Jay-Z? Or?
I listen to everything. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't heard Beyonce and Jay-Z's album yet. Are you loving it?
Oh man.
I've seen them both in concert.
Yeah.
I saw Jay-Z in concert in Amsterdam once, and that was fantastic. And we hung out at his, hotel lobby.
Okay.
And it happened to have been my girlfriend's significant birthday. I think she turned 50. And so that was how we spent her 50th in Amsterdam.
With Jay-Z in the lobby?
Jay-Z in the lobby with all his peeps. And we ordered stuff. We just sat in the lobby, and it was just the coolest. And I got to meet Beyonce once, because I ran into the two of them at a restaurant. So that was, and I've gone to see Beyonce in concert as well, and that's spectacular. And when I saw her, documentary.
Yeah.
I wanted to be her. So I didn't, and I really don't have that experience that often, but it was like, oh my God, I love her. I want to be her. And when I was watching the, the Super Bowl, I saw this commercial for one of those colas. I don't want to call out a company, but you know who they are. And they had this really cool gal. She was ethnic, like light brown skin, I don't know, but she was definitely representing a certain demographic, bebopping down the street. And she was basically giving us attitude that, people may want to do, organic or whatever, and more power to them, but, I'm drinking this because I can. And that kind of manipulative, marketing that's definitely targeting young people and their need to be defiant and be their own person, so they don't have to always listen to their teachers or their parents, is plugged right into that kind of messaging, when everybody that's making that knows that that is harming them. It's either filled with, sugar substitutes, which makes you insulin resistant, and it makes you obese, in contrary to what people think, and, is just very, very harmful, because you trick the brain into thinking you're actually having sugar.
Yeah.
And then the other contrast is it's filled with GMO corn syrup, which also makes people obese. We're dealing with a juvenile group that's more obese than ever in American history. That increases all kinds of illnesses by 300%. Cancer right there at the top of the list, but a million other problems. And so it's like, you know what? At what point do we take our success and apply it to the greater good? I don't care about money more than everything of true value. At the expense of everything. You know, what are you? You're a sociopath. You're a cannibal. You're just, you're a virus.
Okay. Fran Drescher, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, before you go.
Fran could be a battle rapper.
I know, right?
Start calling people viruses.
The viruses. Hey, Fran, we need your help with something. We had two guests who came by the show. And we always have this conversation. Really important stuff here that we talk about, right?
I know, we do, yeah.
You're going to talk about, like, go ahead, Heather. You want to set this up? Real important. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world.
It's not real important.
And we talk about
people with good laughs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of people come by, and we wanted you to rate their laugh.
Okay.
all right, because laughing is good for the spirit. It's good
Right.
for the soul, right?
You
Yeah.
said it.
Okay.
Yes.
And you got
So wait, is 10 the best?
10 being the best.
Best, yeah.
All
Okay.
right, so we narrowed it down to you. Well, you being the queen of laughs.
Thank you.
All
And the
right.
Queen of Queens.
And okay, there you go. All right. And then the first one is Wiz Khalifa, the rapper Wiz Khalifa. Okay, give it to her again.
That was pretty good.
What you get that one?
Well, it put a smile on my face. I'm going to say an 8.
An 8. Okay, Wiz got an 8. And then pretty good high score. The next one is he came by last week, Ray Liotta. Give it to her again.
She got scared.
I'm going to say that was like a 5.
A 5? You gave Ray Liotta a 5?
Well, I'm not saying, I'm not rating him on his sexy quotient,
Yeah, okay.
but the laugh didn't make me laugh.
Okay.
And I think that's got to be a criteria.
Okay, so Wiz Khalifa wins the laugh off. Congratulations to
Wins
Wiz.
for the cannabis, too.
All right. Fran, thank you for coming by.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Fran.
Thanks for
And we-
always supporting me. You guys are great.
Always. And we want to thank Math Hoffa for coming by, too. Get his new project.
Yes.
It's out right now. It's called Pac Juice.
Pac Juice.
All right. We got a lot of folks coming by tomorrow. It's going to be a humdinger.
Humdinger.
All right. DB, how can they reach you real quick?
Everywhere at It's Really DB, and also check out Hotel Transylvania 3 in theaters July 13th.
Hey, check me out on Instagram, OQ Shoots.
At DJ Wonder everywhere.
Twitter, Instagram for me, folks, at It's Tracy G, ITSTRACYG.
I'm at the happy hour, WHB.
Fran, they can reach you at cancersmasher.org.
Yes, and at Fran Drescher and at Fran Drescher and official Fran Drescher on Instagram.
Okay, I'm at Real Sway across the board. You can see all these. You can listen back to these interviews. Go to SiriusXM.com.
/on-demand.
Or you can watch it on Sway's Universe. We'll be posting it. Was live today on the show. We'll be posting it tomorrow on
Yep.
Sway's Universe. You can see it for yourself how beautiful Fran looks sitting here in this studio.
Ow.
And until tomorrow, we have nothing left to say.